My name is Francine Russell. I'm a co-founder at the Heritage Partners.
And my name is Andrea Moultrie, and I'm a co-founder at the Heritage Partners. And so a little about what we do. We were founded a few years ago. We actually began working with the Oral and Public History Institute at the University of the Bahamas, and that's where we realized that we have a passion and a love for Bahamian history, heritage, and culture. And that's where the Heritage Partners was born. So what we do historical research and media production. And we work with institutions, organizations, nonprofits, businesses, and also private clients to help them tell their stories, to research what they do, and then get their stories out there in innovative ways. We're all about the preservation and dissemination of history, heritage, and culture.
For us, the challenge has been, I think, out the gate, coming from the history background and trying to transition it into a business, was trying to get the public or clients to understand the importance of history, and history isn't just a subject that is boring. So I think people assume that history, or how we are taught history, is just memorizing dates, places, names, but what we had to do is try to really market and show what we do in understanding history, because once you understand it, then you remember it. So I think marketing was one of our earlier challenges. And then another challenge was like lack of resources, because we have to go in the community and do certain researches, so we just didn't have the equipment that was needed, starting from scratch to try to create the final product was a task. Well, honestly, COVID. But Owen Foundation, I think they realized during this time, COVID times, a lot of small businesses, they weren't able to do work, or they weren't able to pivot the way that they were able to pivot. So when we saw that Owen Foundation was putting out a grant, we said, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for us to pivot and take on that media production where we used to have to outsource all the time. So we're able to take that on, buying equipment that we need and going and doing these things ourselves.
It's going to be instrumental for us. What we're going to be able to do now is to work with persons that are in the communities. A lot of persons know the importance of the history, they know the importance of legacy and culture and identity, but it's being able to access that they haven't been able to do. So what we're going to do now is be able to help people, individuals, tell their family stories, their personal stories, the stories of their ancestors, and preserve them for future generations. And we think it's going to be groundbreaking. We're going to be able to help Bahamians to really access their history, their own history, and own it. Listen, we were so excited when we got that call. We were over the moon because it was, sometimes in this field, it feels a little lonely, like we're on this unknown path, and it felt like validation to us. Like someone understood our business, they understood our business model, and they understood how we could take it and make it work. And so it was just it was a great feeling.
Yeah, like what Andrea said, it was a great feeling, and I think for us it was like, okay, now it's showtime. Like we can really show, Owen Foundation and the Bahamian Society, the public, like what the Heritage Partners can do and what we're capable of.
I would tell other Bahamian entrepreneurs, if you have an idea, don't be afraid to take the risk on yourself and to at least try. You don't want to live in the shoulda, coulda, woulda when 10 years from now. So the advice would try. The idea is there, just try.
Yeah, and I'd say it's a rough journey. It's not easy. I think a lot of people romanticize the journey of entrepreneurship. They compare it to the 9 to 5. They say, being your own boss. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of heartache, struggle. But in the end, if you believe in yourself, it's worth it. Just keep pushing.